Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Transforming Yourself, Others, and the World. Transformation Charlie here, and it's been a long time since my last video, and I want to let you know exactly what's going on. You probably saw on the thumbnail, it's Carnivore Month. January is Carnivore Month, and I'm super excited. To tell you a little bit about it. Um, I've decided as a result of a bunch of stuff going on with me, yeah, that I'm gonna do this, the 31-day carnivore challenge. Um, and let me tell you a little bit about why. Hey, if you're new to my channel and you haven't had a chance to see it yet, Transformation Charlie, that's me. Channel is transforming yourself, others, in the world. My heart is to see the world transformed, individual persons, one at a time, because we need societal transformation, we need economic transformation, we need educational transformation. I mean, I don't have to probably tell you if you're watching this that the world needs some pretty major tune-ups. Yeah, I probably say it that way. So, but what's really come to me, really, and one of the reasons I haven't made a video in such a time in a long time is because, once again, the transformation starts here, and I've really realized that I uh, I haven't been as transformed as I wanted to be. I need a lot more transformation personally, and I just my own personal life hasn't been as stable as I'd like to be. Made some real dawnings, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. So, the Bible says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind," and so I'm going through a real my mind leading even my body into transformation. So hopefully this would be something that's interesting to you. Um, so basically what happened is I realized in December that I am a carbohydrate and sugar addict, and I've had enough. And that fits to the beginning of January as Carnivore Month in the 31-day challenge. So let me tell you about how I got to this thing. So, I was um, born in a typical family in the United States that we just ate according to the food pyramid, right? And that was shoved down our throats and propagandized, and we all bought it, and that's what my parents did. And all the carbohydrates and sugars and everything that typical um, uh, food pyramid diet looks like, that's what we did. But I have to be honest, like the greens and the vegetables, they've always killed me. I've never gotten it. I would have to cover it in some sort of cream sauce or some sort of ketchup or whatever to even choke them down. Never been my thing. So, but carbohydrate. Oh yeah. So, and that, I just kept going that way. As a young man, you get away with that stuff. Um, I have, over my lifetime, been at semi-professional, professional, two different sports. Racquetball as I was a teenager and young adult, in my middle to late 30s, as a cyclist. Now I was kind of what you would call like the second league, third league. All that meant is my hobby paid for itself, but nonetheless, it takes an incredible effort to be that good. Um, and those are two sports that almost no matter what you eat, it'll keep you thin. And it's exactly the way it was. And I didn't have to fight that hard to keep weight down at that point. In fact, I was eating like crazy for all of the I was eating like crazy just to be able to participate in them, like for a racquetball tournament that starts on Friday night and went through Sunday afternoon if you were good. My mom, she would make a pot of spaghetti with meat sauce, and that's what I did. Did breakfast, lunch, dinner, spaghetti with meat sauce. And I thought I was killing it. Now I had all kinds of energy. There's absolutely no doubt. Um, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday just sucked. They were just terrible. Not only was I tired from the tournament, but I just felt terrible. Um, and so, I kept my weight down at that point, and that was not a problem. Um, and even here, I live in Germany now and had put on a fair bit of weight, but then got into running. Once again, it's a sport that was able to get my weight down. And in 2010, I worked up to running the Cologne Marathon. And I was so proud of myself. And I was back down to my race weight when I was racing bicycles, and I felt awesome. Nonetheless, eating nothing but sugars, carbohydrates, and a little meat. And it just wasn't that what I needed to be. And it kind of ended up with uh, um, about the middle of last year, 2023, after all kinds of incredibly painful things that happened. Many of them happened to all of us, but lost my dad, lost my mom, job troubles, because of Corona. I lost a job, and what are you going to do? Work life here is, for somebody not born in Europe, not so easy to find well-paying jobs, um, and so that was all real difficult. And I'm a I'm a stress eater, and it is comfort food for me, and I have no control over it. So it got to the end. It got to the point where in um, in about July of last year, June of last year, somewhere around there, I reached a maximum of 133 kilos. That's about 293, 95 pounds. I felt terrible. It, it hurt to go up the steps. I had all kinds of inflammation. I was depressed, and I had no clue what I was going to do. Um, I had been dabbling with all through 2022 with keto and intermittent fasting, and so I'd even had some serious successes. I'd gotten down to 216 kilos in June of 2023, and I was kind of feeling good about myself. And when I was on keto um, and sticking to it, um, it worked actually pretty well for me. But in all honesty, um, it was still an issue of the greens. I just hate them. So I would make the salad dressing by using the fat of the meat that I had prepared and called that a salad dressing. Put that over the spinach or a little field salad or whatever. That's the way I managed to get down my greens that were necessary for keto, or green smoothies or something like that. But it was everything but enjoyable. But nonetheless, with all of that, I also ran across intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting. I feel awesome when I have a chain of intermittent fasting days or weeks going. I do. I feel amazing. The feeling of being in ketosis is incredible. But time after time after time, a cheat day means eating normal, pizza, ice cream, and I get back on it tomorrow. Well, I don't know how it is for you guys, but for me, real easily, that cheat day goes from cheat day into cheat week into cheat month, right? Next thing you know, it's like been a couple weeks and you haven't done anything for your health, or a couple months, you haven't done anything for your health except get fatter again. And in December of 23, the middle of December, I had been down at 216 kilos, um, and feeling really good about myself at the end of September. And by the middle of December, I was already back up to 125 kilos. And I was just incredibly disappointed and ashamed. And I just condemned myself and I hated myself more and more and more. Um, and my life was just dominated by sugar and carbs. And so what I realized was that um, as soon as I get carbs or sugar in my mouth, my it's done. I have no protection. I'm just delivered to the sugar. I'm just delivered to the carbs. I cannot do it. And so in the middle of December, start like Dr. Sean Baker started coming across my YouTube feed or across my Facebook or Instagram feed. And I just thought that was so interesting. I thought, you know what? My entire life, since I was a wee little kid, I always dreamed about, you know what? You know what? The only thing that tastes good to me? Meat. And if I could only eat meat, that's what I'd do. But everybody had convinced me eating meat is dangerous and unhealthy. And if you only ate that way, you would be super unhealthy. So I started watching some of Dr. Baker's videos. And as it always is, YouTube, Facebook, when you start watching those guys, the algorithm brings you other people. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, Dr. Anthony Chaffee starts coming up. And he starts talking, and he's looking like ripped. The dude is jacked. This is and Dr. Baker as well. They're jacked. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm looking like an Oompa Loompa and trying to eat well, doing this carnivore stuff or doing this keto stuff. And what's coming of it? Fat little Charlie. So um, really starting to pay attention to this. Kathy's talking about, you know what? Everything you need is in meat and fat. You don't need anything else. As I was in the keto intermittent fasting scene, I knew Dr. Ken Berry. I already had lots of experience with him, and so I started following him too. And he was awesome because he would combine the carnivore thing with the intermittent fasting and all the science behind it, um, and his own experience with it. And I started to get some hope. And then the week before, 3 or 4 days before Christmas, I'm gonna try it. I talked to my wife, she said, go for it. So I tried 4 days of carnivore right before Christmas. Of course, using old mentality, right? Using the Christmas in Germany is 3 days, right? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. Using those as cheat days. And then I was gonna start right afterwards. And I got to the end of Boxing Day. I felt like an alcoholic that just been on a binge. I felt like a heroin addict that needed a fix. I haven't felt that bad in a really, really long. And at that point, I realized I'd just been on a binge with carbohydrates and sugar. There was just this moment of me feeling so happy that I said, I'm an addict. It's just like heroin. There's no moderation for me. If I put a little bit of carbohydrates in my mouth, I'm done. A little bit of sugar. I am done. I have lost all control. And so I decided I'm gonna live without them. Um, and then I heard about all their arguments about how actually, all that green stuff isn't maybe not as healthy for us as we once thought it was. There was all kinds of stuff in there that's not good for you. And I thought, I knew it. This green stuff's not good. No, I just didn't like it, and it helped. It was confirmation bias, right? So and then there it was. Okay, I'm gonna try it. So here it is. Here it is. The beginning of January is Carnivore Month. January is Carnivore Month with the 31-day Carnivore Challenge, and I'm in. And so I'm going to give updates about how it's going for me, and let you guys know what's happening. And I'm going to be super excited to get your responses, comments below, and yeah, I'm going to go on a adventure and take you with me. So thanks, guys, and TransformationCharlie, peace out.